Good afternoon, brothers and sisters of Davao del Norte. Mayong hapon, mga igsoon ko sa CFC, Couples for Christ, Tagum City. Mga igsoon kinibang Tagum, nakapuyo biya mi diri way back 1969 to 1977. In fact, diri gali ko nag-elementary sa Mag-ugpo Pilot Central School. Then naka-eskwela po ko og first year high school sa SMC, St. Mary's College for Boys. Before me namalhin sa Cebu. Mao nga daghan kog memories sa akong pag-eskwela diri nga igsoon. Yeah. Kining Tagum na ani siya special something sa ako kasing klase. I love the place because most of my childhood memories are made in Tagum. Salamat kaayo mga igsuon sa opportunity sa pagpaambit dire. To start, my talk is about the purpose and role of discussion group leader or discussion leaders, short, in leading a group. Ang purpose sa discussion groups is number one, to help participants internalize the topics presented, to allow them to express their thoughts and feelings and give them chance to ask questions, to help people open up and respond to God's invitation and grace, to provide a place for them to experience Christian fellowship, preparing the way to participation in Christian community, Couples for Christ, after the Christian Life Program. So mga igsoon ay taling internalize the topics. Internalize the topic harong matagaan o sakto nga kahulugan ang kada talk nga i-discussed. Niya haron pod sila makapambit sa ilang hunahuna that would lead them to ask questions. Next slide. The role of a discussion group leader to help set the right tone. Kining come promptly to a session at the time indicated by the team leader so that the team meeting may be held as scheduled and there will be enough time for you to greet participants as they come in, especially the members of your discussion group. Akong mahinumduman sa amo pag-apil kani adto ninday sa Christian Life Program way back 1994 nga excited mi kanunay inig week ina ay silpi na gyud. Brothers and sisters, you know why? Because feel namo nga welcome gyud mi. Inighapit na mi moabot sa venue, nanay standby nga mga CFCs sa pultahan. Inigsulod nimo, naapod ang uban nila maglinya nya lamanuhon ka hangtod moabot ka sa lingkuranan. Sila mga joyful, sila mga malipayon, mapahiyumon, musugat namo. Pagkakaroon kay COVID man, bisan dili tuod ta kanang physically magkakitaay, importante po nga atong naong nga para sa ining virtual sama kining atong gibuhat karon na makita kanunay ang atong pahiyom, makita kanunay ang atong ang atong face, ang atong dagway nga malipayon. Be warm and friendly, even if people are a little stiff at first. Dili gyud na kalikayan nga sa sugod, dunay kataha. Pagduha-duha, labi na kay mga bag-o sila. Nya maayo gyud nga kita as DL, as discussion leader, dunay kanang welcoming, friendly attitude. And new people will warm up as you warm up with them. Take special attention, mga igsuon, and care to establish an atmosphere of love and interest in the group. And we should make them feel that they are important and we love them. Next slide. Be joyful and outgoing. Meet other men and women who are not in your group. Encourage your group members to get to know more people outside their own group. Kining joyful. Mao na. Ano na ito? Happy, delighted. Kanang ang atong noun is musanag. Kanang laom nga binisaya ba? Kanang murag kanabitang murag mushine, seeing all of the participants. Kita puros malipayon nga naa sila. This will help them to be at ease and comfortable and be outgoing, which is to be all open, friendly, and responsive. Next, participate enthusiastically in whatever is going on. Sing the songs, listen attentively, even if the talk is familiar, and follow quickly any lead the team leader gives. So on kini, participate enthusiastically in whatever is going on. They should feel that you are excited and inspired, singing the songs, listening to talks, bisag familiar ka na. Mga brothers and sisters, ato gyud naon kanunay nga bisan og kadaghan natana ka paminaw sa talk, maayo gid gihapon maminaw ta kay naa gyud kanunay madugang sa atong nakapunan. Bisan pagkadaghan na tanang kapaminaw sa to. Wala may monopoly sa knowledge, brothers and sisters. Next slide. Pray out where there is an opportunity. Express your prayer in a way that teaches the new people how to pray, but does not overwhelm them. Example, kanang grant that we may be martyrs and does not use unfamiliar jargon. Example in Ison, kanang Jesus, thank you for your all-sufficient and substitutionary sacrifice that purchased my redemption. Brothers and sisters, duha ka butang gisugutan diri slide. Kining overwhelm prayer. Overwhelm prayer is to devastate, to overpower, kanang masubrahan. Murag ato nang giampo nga ang atong kinabuhi maparehas na sa mga martis itong nangaging panahon nga nangahimong santos. Walay kahadlok, mihalad sa ilang kinabuhi. Siguro sa uban nato nga dugay na sa couples for Christ. Ingana na ang panglantaw. Pero sila kay bag-o pa man nya maupay pagsugod, medyo apiki pa, medyo hilas pa siguro para sa ila. So as much as possible, gamit lang ta og simple words with simple meaning sa prayer. Kining ikaduha, kining unfamiliar jargon. Ang meaning ini mga igsoon is pretentious, confusing language of long words. Daghan ra nga istorya nga usahay makahatag og kalibog. So ato na siyang dikayan. Next slide. To help evangelize those in your discussion group. By this, we help to preach the gospel to your discussion group. Next slide. Remember the names and important details of your discussion group members. By this, you communicate a great amount of concern. O pwede nimo ma-memorize ang ilang names sa imong grupo ba? And other important details sa ilang life, mas maayo o importante. Nindot ba gyud nga bag-o pa ta nagkaila nya tawago na dayon ta sa ato pangalan ba, no? And first impression is lasting. Yeah. Ang ato pud closeness sa usag-usa mas mulambo kay tawgon gali ka sa imong pangalan, medyo kanang matis ka, no? Matis ka. Yeah. Without you knowing, kanang dako na sa ilaha o kahulugan. Ang ikaduha ini kining tailor the program inputs to your members. Members needs during the discussion. You have freedom to lead discussions as you think best, with the goal of making the message of the talks connect with each one in a personal way. Arita ining word mga igsoon kining tailor. Kung sa ato paning pinulungan, ato ipahaom para sa ilang panginahanglan sa discussion. Next slide. Kining follow up regularly with your group members during the week, especially during Module 1 of the CLP. Ato ning buhaton para mapadayag ug maklaro ang timag hisgutan. And we encourage them to be open, to persevere, and to turn to the Lord to seek out His will for them. Kadtong ma-absent, ato pangitaag paagi or make-up sessions. Intercede for them and do spiritual warfare on their behalf. Fast and pray for them. Hinumduman gyud nato nga ay kami ni Inday ba sidang nahimo nami nga DL after sa session mag-meeting service team unya tagaan mi og tag sa kapangalan sa participant. Nya kanang gilukot og gamay nga papel, lukuton pagkaman ihatag sa imo. Then ingnon me to pray for that particular person to God. Ang prayer mga igsuon, ang atong main purpose ana nga gihatag sa ato kana kay para ang atong iampo makalahutay sa Christian Life Program. Mauamo sila i-appeal sa among prayer intentions daily. Sa among pag-ampo, amo silang i-appeal for 1 week. The next week na po, tagaan na po, gihapon may among i-ampo. Kanang nabilong sa atong grupo. So, brothers and sisters, we're doing this because prayer is our strength. Maayo gyud nga ato tong buhaton balik. Do whatever is appropriate to bring to issue each one's relationship with Christ. Brothers and sisters, kini sila sa ato grupo is our responsibility. Ang main purpose is nga makahuman gyud ni sila. We will bring them together to commitment to Christ. Next slide. Kining 3 important general comments. One is participating in the singing and fully in the prayers is crucial because that is the way the participants will learn how to pray. Number 2 is faithfulness to all meetings is absolutely essential. Number 3 is prepare for the sessions by studying the goals and content of the sessions beforehand. Brothers and sisters, gikinahanglan ang pagpangandam-daan sa discussion leaders. Pagbasa ahead of time sa goal o sa content sa kada session. Our being a DL or discussion leader should be faithfully considered. Ato gitagaan o panahon ng pagpangandam ahead of time para mas maayo ug may kahulugan ang ato sharing sa grupo. Dili gid ta nato ni take for granted, brothers and sisters. Haron dili ta mahimong unprepared nga murag diil lang. Ini akong word nga diil diri is buti pasabot anang murag diil lang, murag dawat limpyo lang ba. Okay. Ang next slide is leading a discussion group. Mas relax. No, ano ito, basahan na to. In the first meeting, establish a relaxed atmosphere. Start and end every discussion with a short prayer. For the first session, start with an introduction, getting to know one another. Assure them of the principle of confidentiality. Whatever is shared basically remains only within the group. So mga igsuon, tagaan ako, balikan ko ng first na importante kayo. Kinanggingon nga, mas relax, mas maayo ang dating. Pag-ampo sa pagsugod, pag-ampo inig kahuman. Ayaw gyud kalimot sa introduction, sa pag-ilhanay, sa sapusa. Inigsugod nato sa first session. Yung mga igsoon kining confidentiality. Kanang mabalo sila mga igsoon. Whatever sharings, dili mo gawas. Naara sa atong grupo. Kanunay po na nato siyang hisgutan. Hisgutan nato sa sugod. Nga whatever is shared, basically remains only within the group. Okay. Next slide. Let the group know they are free to ask relevant questions or bring up problems. For Module 1, if participants are still not very open or are still shy, you have to begin with sharing yourself. This also is a good way of showing them how the discussion, sharing is to be handled. If the group is eager to respond to the talk, allow them. Inibang ang grupo libre mangutana to ask questions, problems relevant sa session to. Sa Module 1, medyo mata pa na sila. Mga pwede pod nga ikaw pod usa ang muuna og share for them to feel at ease. Masayod po sila nga ani di ay ang pag-share sa mga sa discussion namo kang grupo. Ingani day ang pagdala. Until ang grupo kana ganahan na mo share ng istorya. Next slide. Encourage shy people by asking them questions. Don't put them on the spot. However, start with easy general questions at first. Then work your way up to more specific things about themselves. Dili nato sila kalit-kalito ng pangutana ng mga igsoon. Okay. Nami experience ana nga bakalitan pangutana yung pangutana niya bago pa pagkasunod wala na mo balik. So, make sure everyone gets to talk during the discussion. Kini mga so importante ni. Do set a time for everyone to talk. Ayaw itugot ang oras intended for one participant will be consumed by the other. You should set a time for individual sharing. If each one is allotted 5 minutes only, example, then be it 5 minutes only. Apil pud ana imo time pag-share. 5 minutes po. Next slide. Now, one way to control dominant people is to speak to the person before the session begins. Encourage their sharing, but impress them with the limited amount of time and the need for everyone to share. So, nag-isgot rin mo yung saan ko na pag-control sa dominant person. So, giingon din nga, isulti lang na importante nga ang tanan makashare. So, ang kada usa dunay time. Now, don't let the discussion get off the subject. Gently but authoritatively tell them that to go back to the topic. So, dili po na ito pasagdan nga mawala o by divert sa lain ang discussion. If ever, brothers and sisters, ang discussion mawala sa subject, gently but authoritatively tell them to go back to the topic. So, tita nga, ani mga brothers and sisters, brother or sisters, kanang murag nalihis na gamay, ari ta ibalik ta sa question. Balik ta ining atong discussion. Next slide. It is usually best to open up the discussion to any questions only after you are sure they have understood the main points of the talks. So, dere, brothers and sisters, ang importante nga ila nasabkan ang buti pasabot sa talk. Next slide. When answering questions, you don't need to offer everything on the subject, but only what will help the person most of this time in his or her life. On the other hand, be willing to say, I don't know, and or I'll find out. Don't take up serious theological issues in the discussions. Sa atong pagtubag sa pangutana, dili kinahanglan nga ang tanan aspito ay mo isulti. Kadto lang most helpful sa iya sitwasyon mo ay atong tubagon niya. Kadto complicated, medyo apiki, I'll be willing to say nga wala ka kabalo, dili ka kahibalo. Yeah. Imo papuntanawon. No, imo papuntanawon. Yeah, don't take up serious theological issues in the discussion. Ang ato igsoon, very basic sa couple to Christ. Ang ato kita nimo ang atong outline, simple lang yun na. So please, Don't complicate. Dilita mo. Buhatag ko ka ng mga lawom na medyo maka-stir up, makahatag og kalibo. Next slide. Don't talk down to people or appear to be an expert on something you are not. Ayaw pag-pretend as if na makabaog yun ka. Pianist. Pianist mga igsoon. Sunod kini. Avoid Christian jargon. There is a way in which new people cannot enter into the meanings of the phrases we know so well. Atong likayan Christian jargon words. Kanang mga confusing words, obscure, and often pretentious language. Kanang mga exaggerated words. Next slide. Take notes and write down significant details of conversation in your group so you can keep track of your people's progress. As you listen to the talk, discern which points your people especially need to hear and try to bring those out in your sharing or in theirs. Be time conscious. Make sure there is enough time for everyone to share. Brothers and sisters, muna ang how to handle a discussion group. God bless you. God be praised. Mayong hapon. Next one.